Hello, everyone. I'm continuing on in the series. Um, the book I the book I wrote is under the name J.D. Canter. Building takes skill, tearing down none. It's on Amazon Kindle under J.D. Canter. And last time I started it off, but I started off with chapter 2, so I'm going to read chapter 1 to you today. It shouldn't take long. Uh, Building takes skill, tearing down none. And so Ephesians 4:29 in the King James Version says, "Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it might minister grace unto the hearers." And 1 Thessalonians 5:11, I believe it is, says, "Wherefore comfort yourselves together and edify one another, even as also you do." That's what we're talking about, is building people up and not tearing them down. I related this story in the first video of a story Brother David Jones used to tell about the little boy watching a man with a wrecking ball tear a building down. And he said, "Mister, is it hard to do that?" The man said, "No, son, I'm going to tear this building down in a few hours, what it took men years to build." And so I'm gonna read a little bit more to you. I've got uh, three books. This one is paperback, and then the other two are ebooks or whatever you call them. They're just electronic. You can get them on Amazon Kindle, and one of them is "Live First, Die Last," and the other was "How to Navigate Life Storms" or something like that. So, chapter 1 in Building Takes Skill, Tearing Down None, says, "It is like the TV character Steve Urkel, who used to tear up everything, anything and everything. Afterwards, he would say, 'Did I do that?' Seemingly, he acted like he didn't know he had done anything wrong. He was in the dark about everything that his actions had done. He seemed innocent in any destruction he's caused. People say hurtful things and act as if they had no idea that it could be destructive to the relationship. They would act like, 'What did I do? I only said so and so.' There's a little saying that we used to say when we were kids. It went something like, 'Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me.' Well, I'm here to say that words can be very hurtful. I would almost rather have the sticks and stones. Words are like arrows shot from a bow and arrow. Once they leave the bow, the arrows can never return. Once you let the words proceed out of your mouth, you can never grab them back. Words are so powerful, especially to children who are so impressionable. We can't wait for them to walk and talk, and then we tell them to sit down and shut up. We tell them that they're dumb, clumsy, and other statements of incompetence. We can program them with negative programming in the first few years of their lives that will take years of reprogramming for them to be productive in life. Millions of children go to bed hungry tonight for lack of food and nourishment. But as I've said before, millions more will go to bed hungry tonight for lack of encouragement. Words are powerful. They are life-changing. Words can build people up to accomplish great things or tear them down and render them almost useless and helpless. You know, I know some of us may look all dressed up and dignified right now, but when you were down and out and about to have a nervous breakdown, you didn't care how you looked. God never uses prepared weapons or impressive weapons. He uses the foolishness of a jawbone of a donkey, a sling, and 5 rocks. If the people do it for you and not God, you'll feel like you owe them the rest of your life. Men of God, if you've studied their lives, went through periods of aloneness, even Jesus. Lord, show me what you got locked up within me. I'm in a fight. I didn't write this to live up to your expectations, but I come to drop off a package, special delivery. Come out, come out, come out, wherever you are. That's a game we used to play. We need a strategy when the calling is greater than you whenever the vision is greater than your provision. Jesus said, come up here. Come up here, Moses. I want to tell you something. I want you to lead my people out. I'm going to show you how to use what you got on hand and what's available to you to do the job I need you to do. God says, don't build anything I haven't given you a strategy or a blueprint. God says, if I give you a strategy or a blueprint, that means I'm getting ready to use you. The only difference between you and the person you admire is the perspective they have on life. If you're disciplined in your perspective, you'll be victorious in your outcome. Your perspective is critical to being an overcomer because it's not what happens to you, it's how you react to what happens to you that matters. Ability to manage problems is what separates the CEO from the janitor. The higher up you go, the more problems you'll encounter, and your ability to have the proper perspective under fire is critical. It takes so much discipline. It takes discipline to remain cool and calm under fire. They brought him a blind man, talking about Jesus. The Bible never says who they were, but thank God for they. God will always give you a they. It may not be your mother, it may not be your father. A good man defines himself by his ability to protect and provide for those he loves. There was a difference between a woman having a baby and a mama. We have created a generation of cynics and critics. Who do you allow to be in your ear? What kind of relationships are you developing? Are they an asset to you or a liability? Do they elevate your spirit and up your game, or do they tear you down? There are two types of people, nourishing people and toxic people. Nourishing people encourage you. They bring out the best in you and they inspire you. They help push you and hold you accountable. Toxic people are critical people, always telling you what you can't do. They're always measuring your possibilities by their failures. Never let anybody tell you what you can't do, especially if they haven't done it. Think about people that you can bring into your life to learn from and that can help you. It's not the critic who counts, not the one who points out how the strong man stumbled or how the doer of deeds might have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred with the sweat and dust and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes up short again and again, who knows the greatest enthusiasms, the great devotions, and spends himself in a worthy cause, and who at best knows the triumph of high achievement, and who at worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly. So this place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat. That was Teddy Roosevelt, 26th President of the United States and 1906 Nobel Peace Prize-winner. God will bless you until people dislike you because of your blessings. You have to be able to walk through the criticism, walk through their dislikes. You have to be able to walk through controversy. The only reason they don't like you is because God is blessing you. Success breeds contempt. It made me think about Joseph. You know you're winning when they start disliking you. If nobody is disliking you over it, it's not big enough. Nothing you do satisfies them, and nothing you do appeases them. That's a sure sign you're fixing to get in a net-breaking blessing. Get your marriage ready. Get your children ready. God is going to bless you until the devil hates you. If people liked you before, it won't be much longer. God has given you a blank check. I want to tell the wise that the greatest ability and strength to turn their family around would not be in your ability to nag or criticize or attack. It is telling your family that battles will be won without confrontation. Without confrontation. Empower each other. Everybody is attracted to those who empower them. Empower others to talk about themselves. Completing me rather than competing me is crucial. The reason we are so critical and judgmental about some people is that we don't pray for them. We just pray about them, but we don't pray for them. I want to read you a little story about a million frogs. A farmer came into town and asked the owner of a restaurant if he could use 1,000,000 frog legs. The restaurant owner was shocked and asked the man, Where could he get so many frog legs? The farmer replied, "There's a pond near my house. It's full of frogs, millions of them. They croak all night long and are about to drive me crazy." So the restaurant owner and the farmer made an agreement that the farmer would deliver the frogs to the restaurant 500 at a time for the next several weeks. The first week, the farmer returned to the restaurant looking rather sheepish, with two scrawny little frogs. The restaurant owner said, "Well, where are all the frogs?" The farmer said, "I was mistaken. There's only these two frogs in the pond, but they sure was making a lot of noise." The next time you hear somebody criticizing or making fun of you, remember, it's probably just a couple of noisy frogs, just two old frogs. Always remember that problems always seem bigger in the dark. Have you ever laid in your bed at night worrying at things which might seem almost overwhelming, like a million frogs croaking? What is success? If we listen to some of the naysayers in our lives, we would accomplish very little. Some of the most known people overcame the critics. Einstein could not speak until he was 4 years old and did not read until he was 7. Beethoven's music teacher said about him as a composer, "He is hopeless." When Thomas Edison was a young boy, his teacher said he was so stupid he could never learn anything. When F.O. Woolworth was 21, he got a job in a store, but was not allowed to wait on customers because he didn't have enough sense. Walt Disney was once fired by a newspaper editor because he was thought to have no good ideas. Caruso was told by one music teacher, "You can't sing, you can't sing, you have no voice at all." Perhaps the key to tap into potential that our Lord has given each of us and use it to the fullest. It may not make us popular, yet God can use us if we let Him. Success is faithfulness in using whatever God has given us. Two taxidermists stopped before a window in which an owl was on display. They immediately began to criticize the way it was mounted. Its eyes were not natural, its wings were not in proportion with its head, its feathers were not neatly arranged, and its feet could be improved. When they had finished with their criticism, the old owl turned his head and winked at them. Francis Fenelon was a court preacher for King Louis XIV of France in the 17th century. One Sunday, when the king and his attendants arrived at the chapel for the regular service, no one else was there but the preacher. King Louis demanded, "What does this mean?" Fenelon said, "I have published that you might not come to church today, in order that your majesty might see who serves God in truth and who flatters the king." A door-to-door survey conducted by a church, the question was asked, "If you don't go to church, why?" The 5 biggest reasons were boring, number 1, 2, irrelevant, 3, asking for money all the time, and 4, I'm too busy already, and 5, I feel awkward at church. Well, come to Meridianville Holiness Church. We will try to make you feel welcome, and I appreciate you looking at these videos. They'll help you till you get there, and I hope. So I want you to know that out there, I love you, and I want to help you with all of my heart, and I pray that God will help you. I'm going to give you my phone number, 256-508-4410, and if you need me, you just leave me a message, and if I can't get back to you right away, I will when I can. And I'm going reading from this book. This is the second installment. If you want me to read more, let me know. If you don't, if it's time for me to stop for you, let me know that too. So may God bless you until we do this again. Again, 256-508-4410. May God bless you.